Alright, we're nearly done here. All you have to do is make these side supports and just look at the relative sizes. A little bit thinner. They do have the same kind of bulge and taper as the legs, so we'll emulate that. These are a little bit thinner than the legs, so let's go back here. If you review the second video in this series, the cylinder we started out with for the legs was a diameter of 4 centimeters. So let's keep that in mind. Let's make a cylinder, and it's going to be, these cylinders are going to be running parallel to the ground. So we can change the orientation of it. So with the cylinder selected, and let's call this support. Support 1, just to be nice and neat. Anyway, so with support 1 selected, we can change the orientation from positive Y to positive X, and that'll just make it horizontal, with the ground plane. Okay, so this leg we started out with a cylinder of 4 centimeters of a radius, so let's crank this down to like 3 centimeters and let's see what that looks like. And that might be a little bit too thick. This is all guesswork, folks. It's not a science. So 2.5 centimeters. Let's increase the rotation segments to 72, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the leg with the bulge in the center. So height segments has to be 2. So this is the parameters of our so far, but of course we have to make this a lot shorter. So let's see what we got here. Let me just grab the thing here and see what. I'm just resizing this by sight here. Let me go into a side view here. That makes more sense. Okay, so height 92 here. Let's set that to 90 to start with, and we're going to vary the lengths of these anyway. So that's your parameter for the start out for the side support. 2.5 radius, height of 90, height segments 2, really important. Make sure you get that, and then rotation segment 72. Okay, let's go into let's make this editable by clicking this icon or hit the letter C on the keyboard. Let's go into a side view again. I'm going to go into a front view here and selecting our rectangle selection tool. Make sure that only select visible elements is disabled. Point mode, click, hold, and drag that center chunk of points there. T for scale tool, don't grab the handles, come anywhere off in your workspace, click, hold, and drag, and expand it till you see something that looks like you think it, like it fits the reference here. Okay, so now this is our top view. Let me go into model mode so I can move this entire object. E for move tool. And I'm going to move this so it's placed within the legs, placed within the vertical legs. And let's go into our perspective view to make sure that turned out okay. And that looks good. Okay, so let's check out our coordinates to see what we got here, just to make them nice even numbers. Instead of position of negative 42, I'm going to change this to a negative, or instead of negative 42.019, I'm going to make it negative 42. And let's see what else I want to do here. That looks okay, like it is. All right, let's look at our reference here. Okay, I can live with that. All right, so maybe a little bit too high. So I'm going to have to reposition this here. Okay, I'm just doing this by sight in the perspective view here. Getting it positioned there. So now what do I got here? Okay, so now okay, I got something to work with here. So now I can make this position a -35, and on the z-axis a -47. So that's cool. That's one of my supports. Let me copy this and I'll move. I'll make the second support, above it, like my reference here. So copying support 1, Command C or Control C, Command V or Control V. Gonna move it up and just kind of guess where it should go. Whoop. Sorry, wrong button. All right, so now I'm gonna have to position this guy in. Now if I look at this, it's coming out, it's a little bit too long because it's protruding outside my legs, so no problem. T for transform tool, and just grabbing only the axis that I want to pull in. I'm just going to pull it in a little bit. So let me hit E for move tool, and let's look at my parameters here. My Y is at 24.8, so I'm going to make that 25. My Z is at -39.9, so I'll make that -40. So that's what I got. Okay, cool. So copy these two and just move them over here. Should work. Okay. I'm gonna have to reposition them a little bit. So let me think how I want to do this. This might be easier to do one at a time now that I think about it. So with support 1.1 selected, I'm going to Command C, Control C, and paste it, Command V to paste it. Now, if I just change this parameter to a +40, there it moved magically, and it's in the right position. Let me click on support 1, the first one we made, copy this one, and again I'm going to change the Z value to a +47. So that's good. So now we're in good shape here. If I would have copied both of them at once as a group and moved them, I would have got some weird results, some weird angles. All right, so the next thing I got to do is the way this is structured, I can select all 4 of these, copy it, then rotate it. So here's what I'll do. So far I got support 1, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. I'm going to select all of those. Command C, Command V to paste. Now they're all pasted on top of each other. Let me go into my top view. So that I got 4 brand new supports pasted where they should be. Up here in the top view, if I hit the rotation tool, I can grab this axis and I should be able to rotate it 90 degrees, right? And it should work, God willing. So let me come down to my coordinates and change the rotation to 90. And let's take a look at what I got for my my perspective view, and this is exactly what I expected. Okay, but it's not quite like our reference, is it? Because if we look at our reference, these things are offset. So let's come back in here. Because I was clicking back and forth, I lost my... Let's see, I went 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those 4. E for move tool. And let me see what I want to do, if I want to move these guys up or down. I want to move them up a little bit. Okay. So that looks pretty good, actually, compared to our reference. Okay, so let me deselect. One last thing, this plane, I don't need this plane anymore. I'm going to select the plane in the object manager and delete it. So there's our stool, that's it. So maybe that last few steps where I was copying stuff and rotating stuff, you might have to review that again. To make things nice and neat, you could group these, I could select all the supports, do an Option or Alt G, and call them supports. Not necessary, but it's just something you can do. I could group the legs. I can grab all of these, Option or Alt G on the PC, Option G on the Mac, to group them into a null object and just call the whole thing stool. That's in case if you ever import this into another file. So anyway, save your file with the correct file name, and then upload it through Blackboard, and that's it.